Hi everyone, it's Kathleen. Today we're going to make a lentil walnut loaf from my favorite vegan blog and vegan cookbook called Oh She Glows. And I'll just show you the cookbook. This is the best. So if you don't have it yet, please get it by Angela Liddon. She is amazing, and the blog is ohsheglows.com, and this recipe is available on her blog. I'll put a link to it after the live video. So thank you so much for joining me. There is a lot of prep involved in this recipe, but it's totally worth it. I only make it a couple times a year because there is more to it, but it's so worth it. So I hope you'll try it. Come with me. We've already started here. I've been sauteing 1 medium onion and 3 cloves of garlic. And I just saute it in water. You don't even need oil. That can take out some of the fat. And then we're going to add in some other lovelies. So this is 1 cup very diced celery, so not just your normal diced celery, but little chops, finely chopped celery, 1 cup. And 1 cup of grated carrots, so I did do these in the food processor earlier. So you can see all these delicious plant-based foods full of fiber, no cholesterol. And this is a diced apple. Peeled the apple, and it's 1/3 cup. And 1/3 cup raisins. So we're going to mix these delicious ingredients together, and that's what makes this loaf so great. It's not just lentils and rice. It has all these lovely flavors. We're going to turn up the heat, mix these ingredients together. I really love the celery. It's almost like a stuffing loaf if you think about it. Okay, and the raisins add a little sweet, which is fun. So we're going to turn up the heat. And I'm going to go ahead and cover it. You're going to saute this for 5 minutes, and we've got our oven preheating here at 325 on bake. All right, so I'm going to get this all mixed up. We're good to go. All right, so now we're going to come back to the counter and work on our lentils. Okay, so you need 1 cup of uncooked initially brown or green lentils. Okay, and you can buy your lentils already cooked. If you really don't like to cook, Trader Joe's has them. You can also get them in the can, but I just put them on the stove for about 20 minutes. So this was 1 cup uncooked, which will equal 2 cups cooked. Okay, so we're going to put these in the food processor. And lentils, of course, are protein, high in protein, very high in protein. Where do vegans get their meat? Excuse me, our meat is beans a lot of times, right? Where do we get our protein? So we're going to put the lid on, and we're going to pulse it. You don't want to turn it into mush. You just want to get it so that there's a few pieces left that are still whole intact. All right, let's see how we did. Okay, that's pretty good. And then, you could, any of this, if you want to do a couple of days ahead of Thanksgiving, you could do any food prep you want to do, like cooking your lentils, dicing some of the vegetables. And then the other thing you could do is to toast your walnuts, okay? So I chopped 1 cup of walnuts here and toasted them in the oven at 325 for about 10 minutes. All right, and we're going to be adding that to our stovetop mixture, these 2 things, in a minute. Let me get rid of that. And then we're going to use some breadcrumbs. So I just toasted 1 piece of gluten-free toast and chopped it into pieces. Excuse me, we only need a half a cup. And then the binder is going to be this ground up flax meal. So you can buy it already ground in the bag. Trader Joe's has it, Bob's Red Mill carry it, or you can ground up whole flax seeds on your own in your Vitamix or blender. And that's what we do. And so this is 3 tablespoons of the flax meal. All right. So we are going to play waitress and take all of this over to the stove. So come back with me again. Okay, so let's check on our first 4 ingredients here and add in our lentils. Okay. I actually had cooked those lentils and had them in the freezer, so I had done that in advance, and just do that so it's easier to pull out. And then our breadcrumbs, gluten-free breadcrumbs, and then our toasted walnuts here. So this dish is great for the whole family. My husband has teenagers, my stepkids, and they really love it. In fact, we're going to have to make 2 this year because, thank goodness, my stepson loves it and wanted extra, okay? So we're going to put this all together. We're going to add in a few more ingredients. And I show you here. We're going to add in some gluten-free flour, or you can use oat flour, what it calls for, 1/2 cup. All right. And then we've got a teaspoon of oregano and thyme. All right. You can also add a little salt if you want. And then I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of these crushed red peppers. All right. All right, let's mix this all together. So there are a lot of ingredients. Again, it's worth it. We just got to really get our flour all mixed together. So what you're just going to press this in a loaf pan and cook it at 325 for about 50 to 60 minutes, says the instructions, uncovered. Okay, so what you could do is you could do all this prep work and not cook it and put it in the freezer with some foil on it, uncooked, and then pull it out the day of and cook it, or the day before, excuse me. If it's frozen, pull it out the day before and then cook it, and then we'll add our glaze here in a minute. I'll show you about that. All right. So see how it's coming together. It really does look like a stuffing, but once you press it all into the loaf pan, it'll make more sense. Give my, is that sufficient, husband? He's super picky. He's like, no, stand there all night. All right. Okay, no comment from the cameraman, must mean. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Looks
okay. Good. All right, moving on. I'll stir it a little bit more, but we're going to bring it over here anyways. And we're going to press it in our loaf pan and make our sauce. Okay. So I've tried other lentil loaves that are much simpler, and they're just not as good. So that's why we are going to the extra effort. I have just washed my hands, so I might just end up using my hands. So I grease this loaf pan ahead of time. And we're just going to put it in there. So the egg and the flour will help it stick together just a little bit better. Okay? Oh, excuse me. Okay, can you see that? Sorry, making a mess, but we'll get it all in here. I'm just going to use my hands so we can really press it. What's your favorite thing about the loaf, husband?
Oh, I like the juxtaposition of the sweet raisins and the savory flavor of the thyme and the oregano and the lentils.
Yeah, that's great. I love the apple and the raisin addition to the loaf. It is very good. Okay, almost done. Thanks for your patience. This is definitely the most extensive recipe I've ever done live, but like again, I just really wanted to show everyone a great vegan entree for the holidays that does help save the turkeys and hopefully leave everyone satisfied, right? So it makes a lot. This is good. Fill it to the brim, right? Okay, let me get this out of the way. I'll press it better. So it does help to, to really press it so that once it's cooked, it'll stick together better when you cut it. Okay, shaping up. Excuse me. All right, now we're gonna make our sauce. This glaze is the best. All right, so I'm gonna move our loaf aside, gonna dive into this quick glaze. This is so easy. About 1/4 cup of ketchup. I do recommend actually doubling it. I'm not doubling it because then you can actually put some on it on top once it's cooked. So we're going to do 1/4 cup of ketchup. And then you could do 2 tablespoons of applesauce. And I like to buy these little ones so it doesn't spoil in the fridge, which kept happening to us. And there's 4 tablespoons in one of these little cups. We'll just use 2 and follow the recipe. But just know if you're doubling it, use the whole thing. And it doesn't get moldy in your fridge if you have a whole jar. I didn't want to do that anymore. I was wasting it. Okay, then we have 2 more ingredients. 2 tablespoons of balsamic syrup. Excuse me, but balsamic vinegar. Then we're going to get to the maple syrup. Okay. 1, 2. If you're sticking to the recipe. 4 if you want to double it. And last but not least, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. So again, getting that sweet.
Is that a teaspoon or a tablespoon?
Let me double check. It's just a teaspoon.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Wade wants more sugar.
Yeah, I was hoping for the tablespoon.
He was hoping for 5 tablespoons of maple syrup. Okay, so we're going to whisk this together. All right. And, excuse me, we are going to put it on top. There you go. All right. So you can save some back if you'd rather. I'm going to go ahead and bake it with all of it, and I'm going to make another batch and just use it as extra on the table at Thanksgiving. Okay. I hope this is looking delicious to everyone. The glaze is so special. Great, great combination of ingredients. Okay, so we are going to bake this 50 to 60 minutes, so you want to keep an eye on it, says the directions, and uncovered, okay, in the oven for 325. Let me just show you. Since I'm not able to show you the finished product yet, I do have a picture I can post. But that's the finished product from Angela Liddon at Oh She Glows. It's on her blog. It's in her cookbook. It's amazing and delicious. All right, so I hope you'll try it. Thank you always for joining me and for saving animals with your food choices. I'm very grateful for you. Enjoy your holiday.